to ensure that people don't have conversations with the police about, well, it seemed like a really good idea at the time.
Although we've had some of those, so
we're burning toe pig.
Yes, we're burning toe pig. Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Right. So what the finger in a circle means is don't call me on a rotary phone. It means, Jeff, hurry up and get your wires going so we can start the show.
I didn't know we were ready. Welcome to Everyone Racers, a show designed for the world of low-dollar racing and oddball car culture. It doesn't matter what kind of La Champ or Lucky Track Dog you run, SCCA or NASA, we won't discriminate. We even think you Drifto hella flush peeps are, right? As long as you drive it hard and built it yourself. Join us each week for tech discussion, tips, tricks, as well as news and notes in the world of low-dollar endurance racing. And whether it's on the spot, hella sweet but terrible, or we're lucky enough that Chrissy gives us just the tip, we are sure you're going to giggle a little and learn even less. Everyone report to the paddock.
This is Chris.
This is Chrissy.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Mental. And we are Everyone Racers. Thank you for coming back and listening to another Nixonian episode of our podcast, because it's episode 68. If you're not driving a car, don't forget your E1R bingo card. There's a new version available with updated words and
the
phrases.
Worst Nixon impression ever.
I don't know. I don't think it was the worst. It was better than I like. Once he started and I realized what it was, I was like, well, that's actually better than I expected from Mental. So
I thought he was Oscar the Grouch or something like that.
It's better than the Phil Graydon, Richard Nixon sex robots in the book.
That's what I thought it sounded more like, actually.
I mean,
I think I've been poisoned by Futurama.
It's true,
because it's always Nixon's head in a jar.
Yeah. No, I actually, Jeff, Mental, I'd say I was impressed. Well done.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll kick this off with Chrissy, our next segment, please.
Wait, did you? Let's be real clear here. New bingo cards are available thanks to Chrissy.
Somebody updated the bingo card.
Updated the bingo card. So let's ask some questions. What did you add and what did you get rid of?
I'm not telling you. Why should I do that?
Well, I just thought the listeners would like to hear.
Oh no, I got rid of dumb things like Malaise era. Screw that. I was like, I got rid of things that we don't ever talk about. And then I added a whole bunch of things that I thought some of them are generic. I even added one that's only for the listeners. It's not for us.
I have that one.
Yeah, do you?
I have that one.
What is
it? Someone is so loud that you turn down the radio. Doesn't matter. Jeff had it spelled wrong before, too. So it's okay.
I don't think I changed it, actually. I think it's how it is. I didn't change it. You missed it. Nobody was listening to you.
I heard it.
So, the one for listeners, Mental obviously didn't hear it. Someone is so loud that you turn down the radio.
That's
everybody's going to get that one.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, so that's if you're
like
playing
every episode.
You're basically getting a free space somewhere else if you get that one. So hopefully you like it. If there's something else we should add or we're missing something, let us know. Yes.
I have a question. So how do I get the "we ain't cheap, this isn't free" space? What has to happen for me to get that one?
Pay us money? No, I don't know. We said free space, and then there was an option for me to type something for free space. So
it's still a free space.
It's still a free.
All right, still a free space. Okay,
yes,
fair enough.
I do notice some new ones on here. I notice wheel bearing, because that is something that comes up, very regularly. That's a good one.
I don't think that's not new.
Oh,
so
really?
because Jeff had so many on there, I took a bunch out that I didn't think were necessary, and I left and I added a few more. So
Las Vegas, I think that's new.
No, Vegas was on the old one, but I think Chrissy had the input on that one. I do like one person breaks with laughter.
Because we seem to do that fairly often, so I thought we should probably just add that.
Right, that's a good one. Sarcasm, which I feel like should be a free space.
It's an easy
My dogs
one.
are in the room and they just shook, so that might get shaky dog. Let me kick them out. Keep going. Okay. It's what you working on, Tom? Who's starting?
You.
No, wait. Chrissy's got to do the transition.
Oh no, I'm
the transition.
No,
what you working on, Jeff?
That's weird.
That is weird. So I wanted to mention that a couple of weeks ago I gathered all of my just really rusty pliers and I put them in a bath of evaporust, because what else are you going to do with all the rusty pliers that you don't get to use anymore because they're rusted shut?
Or
yes,
you
Chris?
Just take care of your tools and not have a bunch of rusty pliers.
That's I have to say that some of these
How many pairs of pliers do you have?
Oh, 1,000.
Yeah, I have a whole drawer full, but they all work.
A whole drawer full.
And they're all for different reasons.
Absolutely.
Use them for different things.
So I will say that
metric
some
pliers,
of these,
standard pliers.
Yeah, right.
So some of these are wires that got lost in the snow.
Wires?
Of pliers that got lost in the snow. One of them is a pair of linesman pliers that I found in a gutter that were not mine.
They are now.
They are
the
now.
Gutter wasn't yours,
gutter.
or the...
Wait, but this is getting to what you're working on.
We can do a whole segment on found tools. Like, what tools have you found places?
So I went to the old Home Depot and I bought a can of plasti-dip, like the kind with the little pop top, and I plasti-dipped the ends of the pliers just like it says on the front. And I'm going to tell you, I'm like clicking them right here. They're amazing. If you've never see, it was like, hey, how am I ever going to get rubber grips on those things? Oh wait, I've seen a picture of that, and I did it, and it worked. Yes, Chris.
I have another fun plasti-dip, like actual dip plasti-dip use for that.
Yeah.
If you have a Danforth style anchor on your boat with the legs sticking out of the sides, plasti-dip the ends of the legs and then the ends of the fluke on it so that it doesn't scrape your boat when it's being stored.
Awesome.
For all those people that
I would like
that.
I would like
everyone boaters.
I would like a new box that says Chris uses at least 2 nautical terms that no one else knows.
No, I know them all. Keep going. So I also will mention that this is the podcast after New Year's. So for New Year's, we went to Florida with the family. We went to the Citrus Bowl. I did not get to have a drink with our boy Donnie, who listens, because it was 1,000 degrees at the game, and my 10-year-old and my wife were like, we must have air conditioning. Let's go back to the hotel. So we went back to the hotel and ate, so we didn't get to meet him after the game. But I'm sorry, Donnie. I'll catch you next time. I also, since the semester is here and the lovely and talented Jennifer gets to start commuting on 422sucks.com 3 times a week, I redid her rear brakes because they were making some squealy sound.
And you had pliers. Why wouldn't you?
Exactly. Woo! And I will tell you that 110,989 miles or whatever it is like the absolute limit to rear brakes in a Forester that commutes on 422.com. There was like a piece of paper left of brake material on the pads, but they're wonderful and she loves them. And yeah, she can stop.
Woo!
Woo.
Yeah, rear brakes. It's fun.
Did you use the Wagner organic quiet stops?
No,
Made of wood?
Not at all. I did my go-to not the ST43, but you can check that off your list.
Woo!
I
had that one.
Yeah.
Ray Bestis. Most of their stuff is good. I like Ray Bestis.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with Ray Bestis.
Yeah.
No, just Wagner's so bad they can only compare their braking distance to other Wagner Pragners.
Well, at least they're consistent.
Yeah, I will say there was
this one sucks less. It's okay.
There was a cool feature of the rear discs of the 2015 Forester, and it had a little rubber plug that you could pull out of the center piece of the disc brake material so that you could see the inboard drum thing that is the parking brake without removing the disc brake.
Drum thing.
Yes. The adjuster. I say I like BMW's method for this. Is the only good thing about having wheel bolts instead of studs on BMWs is that on the rear brakes you just turn the rotor until one of the wheel bolts lines up with the adjuster and then go right through the bolt hole.
Well, this wasn't for the adjuster. This was to inspect the thickness of the parking brake.
I don't think I've ever replaced those ever in my life in any car.
It might have been the adjuster too. I just assumed that was for. But anyway, I used the Power Stop Evolution. They are my go-to non-race, non-performance brake. They are wonderful.
Cool.
Yeah, that's it. Who's next? Chris, what you working on?
I finished the last section of backsplash because the last little bit of countertop is finally here. It was a 2-foot piece of countertop between the double oven and the Sub-Zero, and it has a little sink in it. And then when they cut it the first time, they cut the sink in the middle instead of on the side, so I had to wait for them to come back. They finally did, installed that, so I got to finish the backsplash, including the grout, and that's all done. Got the faucet in, had to plumb in the drain of the little tiny bar sink that's in there. So we have 2 functional actual sinks in the kitchen now, which is completely unnecessary, but I like it anyway. And started working on the basement workshop area that used to be full of kitchen cabinets. Now it has the old kitchen cabinets mostly, and the base ones are attached to the walls. The upper ones are actually up and installed in there. The lights are in, and working on a workbench now. So we're trying to make a useful workshop out of that side of the basement, which is pretty nice. That and prep for Laguna. There we go. It's more grassroots homeowner sports than anything else. But
notice that I did not say I was prepping for Laguna.
Yeah, I know. I also went and picked up a new couch too.
Yeah,
I picked up a couch.
Yeah, we saw the Facebook post of you testing out that new couch.
Mm-hmm. No, I was testing out the old couch.
That was the old couch.
Chrissy was on the new couch.
Okay.
Yeah, but I used the first time I've ever used that trailer that I bought this summer. Remember that one that Jeff borrowed?
The one that I broke the first time I drove it.
And that everyone in the family has used. I finally used it for something. I went to pick up
I
this couch.
have a trailer.
Exactly.
We have 2 trailers. That was the tiny trailer, and we just finally used it to pick up a couch.
Which it worked great. It tows like nothing. It's fantastic.
It is a great trailer. It's a great trailer. Bentel, tell us what you're not trailering.
What I'm not trailering. So I've had the interior out of the Volvo for the better part of a week now.
Why?
Well, it's been really
Volvo
nice.
240 Superleggera.
Superleggera.
I guess.
No, it was just a great time to dig in there. So right now, I was wiring in a set of rear speakers, which apparently this car never came with, this particular Volvo. So now I've got a little speaker box in the back of it. And while I was doing that, I was pulling up the wires and looking at my rusty floorboards and some of the other stuff, and decided to do some troubleshooting on my non-functional heated seats. So basically I just found wires that had been worked into the floorboard until they were worn through. So I recreated all of that. I installed a CB radio because nerd wagon. Why not? Of course. And so I'm getting the seats put back in them. I've been burning leaves for the last 3 days, trying to get all of that done.
So redneck.
So redneck. We removed every door to everything in our house, and Vicky painted all of them. So now I get to install all of them back again.
All the fun stuff you do when you move.
Exactly. Oh, this is going to be a great house for the next folks. And I've got to drive the basketball team Friday and my marksmanship team on Saturday, and coming to the realization that there's just stuff that's not going to get done. So out there in listener land, if you have a use for a 1953 Plymouth, and I'm going to caveat with this with, you cannot lemons race it. You can lemons rally this car. You cannot lemons race it, but it is a functional 53 Plymouth. Get in touch with us at everyone.
Cranback, right? What kind is it? Cranberry?
Cranbrook. Right. The last vestige of a car that the lead designer who started with, I think he worked for all 3 of the big 3, and he got over there and it was still his religious belief that a man should be able to drive a car while wearing a hat. So the roof line was designed accordingly.
A top hat?
I think just the back in the 50s when folks just wore hats.
Fedora.
Not a stovepipe, but
Yeah, not an Abe Lincoln hat. Okay. So yeah, kind of everywhere and nowhere.
I demand to be able to wear a top hat wherever I drive.
Well, we got rid of the Rolls Royce. Sorry.
We did wear it a lot when we had the Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
That is why you got the NSX Targa, so that Chrissy could wear her top hat.
So I saw it said anyone want a Plymouth in the show notes here, and I thought you were selling the Cricket or whatever the hell that thing is. What is that thing? The Champ. You're taking that with you?
Over the place.
No, that'll probably be next week's what you're working on.
Next week's car
what
for
you
sale.
selling?
Oh, car for sale? Is Is that still on?
I thought you owed that to Jack for something.
I do, but I'm looking at it and I'm thinking I'm just going to send Jack money because I want us to continue to be friends. And if I send him this car,
well, just put it back up on the GRM board for the grand sum of whatever you have into it.
$110 exactly. Yeah.
Comes
Some
with the fuel tank now, right?
Comes with a fuel tank and 2 of the 3 fuel lines that I have replumbed, and a third one that is still coiled up in a box from Summit that I just haven't gotten to.
I'm impressed. This is like the first time I've ever heard Mental sell a car in better shape than when he bought it. Like, really?
Yeah.
Well done, sir.
That's
stuff comes to me to die.
Well done.
That's ultimately
this is progress.
There it is.
I like it.
Oh, Chrissy, please save us. What you working on?
Besides top hat selection.
Yes, quite. We will talk a little bit later about my race prep because that's part of this show that we're going to be talking about. I did a little bit of that. We had a party with friends on Saturday, all day Saturday. We did some packing for this trip that's coming up. I did some work. And I did step 1 of heel toeing. So last week I admitted that I don't know how to heel toe. And every time I pretend to try, I'm like, man, I'll just do that later, and I don't. So I have tried to discuss with Chris on how to start heel toeing. And this week's effort has started with breaking with the correct part of my foot. So I break with the just like my ball of my foot, or like my big toe, right on the corner. So that's my just breaking. Every time I break there, that's where I break. No blipping, no nothing. I'm just breaking with the correct part of my foot. So yes, Jeff or
no, I'm just putting my hand up and pointing at Michigan. Oh, there you go. Mental actually put his foot in the camera. That's helpful.
I couldn't see it, and that's weird.
Yes, Mental's right.
Yes. So
just foot fetishes. If you could only see the video that we are watching right now.
Or rednecks, and just recognize that Mental yet again not wearing shoes.
Ew. Well, we're not wearing shoes either, but I'm not a redneck. So, yes. So that's my practice. This is practice 1. I'm not going to be able to heel toe this weekend. Sorry, not sorry. And but that's what I've been practicing. I have some next steps, but this is what I've been just every time I break. That's what I do.
Awesome.
You have to start making the habits in the street driving to get your head onto it. That's the only way you can do it in the car. So and it's not, you can't just do it all at once. You can't just say, all right, heel toe, go.
Yeah, and I've tried that, and I'm just like, I do it, I mess up, and I'm on the street, and I'm like, I'm just not going to do that right now. Go, Mental.
And the myth, we talked about this on the New Year's resolution show, the myth behind a lot of these techniques, matched rev downshifting, left foot braking, all of this is that you have to practice it at speed, and you don't. You can totally practice this at street speeds and be completely, I mean, obviously you don't want to, do anything that's going to stall your car on a hill type deal, but practice.
Yeah.
If you want to learn this stuff, learn it driving. You're doing it every day.
It's really easy to not, though. I sit in traffic all day. I have probably plenty of times where I could be doing these things, but it's easier to not. That's the truth. I'm just being truthful.
Once you get used to it, then it just happens. Like I break with the ball of my foot in the Suburban or the Mercedes. Like it doesn't matter. That's where I break.
Week I've been doing better. I mean, that's where I have been breaking, and I've found myself breaking, but I've had to do it for a couple of days and be cognizant of it. Oh, yeah. And I'm only on step 1 of 3 or 4. So I'm just.
It's going to take more than a few days.
And no, and I guess where I'm coming from, and I think we're all in agreement, we're just not saying it properly, is good on you, Chrissy, and stick to it. And if somebody else out there, a listener, had decided they were going to take that advice and do the same thing, stick at it, folks.
Well, that's why I'm giving you updates of what I'm actually doing, because you guys are holding me to the New Year's resolution that I made, and I've been talking about it for years. You guys all talk about it and say that you do it, and I said I just didn't say anything. I didn't say that I did it. So now I'm actually practicing. I'm actually talking about it, and I've gotten all the cars. I've practiced on all the cars and tried to figure out how to do it with the car off, sitting in the driveway or the garage, and practicing. So I'm just telling you what my steps are. So if you are so inclined to try, you can play along with me.
Cool. I'm going to wrench in here an update from a previous show also.
Fine.
I had
so
I'm going to skip it.
I threw this in there for you.
update from a previous show, Christmas show. I said I was deciding between two different tools, and I'm going to make Mental a little jealous now. I decided not to buy either, and I eBayed another watch. Oh. So now I have to decide if I am going to wear like new.
It's a fake Yachtmaster, but
it is not a fake Yachtmaster. It is a Seiko Tuna SNK that has been modded with really funky parts.
So it looks like a fake Yachtmaster, basically.
No, it doesn't look like a Yachtmaster at all.
With the red and the red and the blue.
Pepsi bezels have been around a lot longer than that.
And I see where you're coming from on that one, Chris. But actually, and I'm not as deep into nerd culture as Jeff is.
No, neither am I.
Jeff's kind of right about that one. It did come out on the Yachtmaster, but it kind of got copied across the board. The Pepsi bezels. It's across. Yeah, it is. It's across, and it is, but it's a style thing.
But anyway, so now I have to
somebody talks about something that
nobody
else cares about.
So
Jeff, read up
news and notes.
Yeah, so Jeff, take that first one.
This Carlos Goin. Is that am I saying that right?
Update story.
Carlos Goin. Yeah.
Update story. So Carlos, we all know him. He was the head of Renault. He became the head of Renault, Nissan, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And he faked his taxes in Japan and was going to federal pound me in the butt prison. He went to court
federal Japanese.
They're very polite when they pound you in the butt in the Japanese prison. That's the difference.
Wow.
So he went to court for like 10 minutes because they are very efficient in Japan, and he is going to be spending the next 6 months in jail.
Yeah,
I didn't read the story.
Hasn't been out of jail, hasn't been allowed out of his cell, got 10 minutes in court, probably going to be spending the next 6 months still under confinement. The American that was doing his financial paperwork has finally been released, but also still facing a lot of trouble. And apparently there's a Saudi businessman at the heart of all of this.
Of course. Isn't there always? Oh, Chrissy, you got a story?
I do. This one's almost just for you. So our friend, but he probably doesn't think that we're his friend, but maybe he does. Creator of Radwood, check it off your list if you got it. And writer for Jalopnik, also check it off if you got it. Bradley Brownell wrote an article with some exciting news for us long roof drivers. They're on the rise.
Whoa,
Yay! Many other types of vehicles like sports cars, sedans of all sizes experienced sale decline. In 2018, compared to 5 years earlier, wagons are on the up. So the wagons take less than 2% of the market is long roofs, but they experienced double-digit growth over the last 5 years. So why the decline? Bradley said that he felt that Bloomberg called it a self-fulfilling prophecy. Stop buying wagons. People stop buying. Now people want them. Fancy that. Yeah. Question, which do I buy?
Long roof.
Now, which do I buy? The F-Pace or the Mercedes wagon? I don't know. Yes, Chris, go.
I just think it's slightly fun that the term self-fulfilling prophecy was invented by a very good friend of mine's grandfather.
What?
Seriously.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Chris, tell story that
I'm going to need your link and your research for that.
I added it to the thing. It'll be added to the card soon.
I can send you the Wikipedia on it, Jeff.
I just want to see it.
Chris, yeah, no one's ever called you a liar, Chris. Well, and I think that was also recently motivated by his incredibly patient and lovely wife. Finally got tired of her 3-2 her Mazda series. I didn't. We are friends with Brad. I text him every now and again. She got tired of her Mazda long roof. And so, yeah, they went to the dealer. He wrote a whole thing also about his dealership experience. Said it was just
a Buick, right?
With the Buick. Got the Buick Cross Tour, which is and way back when we had the other writer, the local guy, we talked about the new cars. We had the new car season. Brian
Medford. I know his GRM name, but that doesn't help.
Exactly. Yeah. we had Brian Medford on there. They were huge fans of that Buick Cross Tour. It is supposed to be just a great car.
Yes, he did write about that in the middle of this article. Said that, yes, he said that he loved his car. They drove basically cross country over Christmas in their in their wagon, and they said it's on the up. So heck yeah, we keep talking about how we're losing the wagons, and hopefully they come back.
Yep.
And that would
I
be
just
awesome.
want to say that since we're citing our sources and mentioning it, Bradley wasn't the one who decided that long roofs were in rise. It was a Bloomberg actual market study. So it's like actual people checking out that thing.
And Mercedes says that their wealthiest clients that buying their cars buy the E-Class wagon, and they pay cash.
They said that the long roof purchaser was more likely to be affluent than the average SUV.
So, Chrissy, Mercedes. I think you.
But the Jag.
I'm going to change the topic here and ask a quick poll question. Let's say each one of you are a Russian robot company, and you're debuting a new robot at CES that probably doesn't work. What is the best way to get the people in the world to start talking about it, especially in the tech world? Hopefully you didn't read ahead.
Kill someone.
No. The answer is fake a Tesla accident.
Break mental. Yes, they did it.
No, but I love that the nicest of us went kill someone.
Kill someone.
Well, no, that's what happens. That's how it makes the news. If you kill someone
with a pillow over their face and say,
you'll be tired soon. Are you
quiet?
You'll be quiet soon.
No.
So this the CES is a big consumer electronics show in Vegas. So you can check that out.
What?
All the best and most awesome tech comes out, and this company had said there.
I got bingo.
What?
That's so early.
I know.
8 minutes and 40 seconds. Chrissy has
really
bingo.
Sorry. It's not even like these are normal ones.
Well, there it is.
Yes, I got bingo.
Who made the bingo cards this time?
Yeah, exactly.
So ST43, I was like, I'm not getting that, but Jeff mentioned it, which is totally random. Radwood, which Bradley Brown made, which I said. Somebody breaks with laughter. I broke mental. Las Vegas. No. I did. You thought that was funny.
I thought it was funny. Break is when I can't talk, like when Eric was talking about the dead stuffed dog, or Chris talked about his Christmas present was, I reached in the cabinet and I got the blender that she bought and I wrapped it up.
Okay, well,
That's
you're close
breaking
to
me.
Oh, come on.
I'll give it to you. Okay. So let me finish my story here. Or do you tell what else is on the list? What else is on the list? Did you mention them all?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Las Vegas, and Mental says something correct, which you agreed that he said something correct in our opening statement.
Great. So so this Russian robot company
didn't kill someone.
Did not kill someone.
Good.
They may have, and it seems like people on Reddit have discovered that they used a rope to pull their robot along a street in Vegas where there happened to be a security camera that they happened to have the footage from, and rolled their robot out in front of an autonomously piloted Tesla.
Oh, that's not fair.
And it clipped it. And the autonomous pilot Tesla was like, I don't know what happened. I really don't work for the company. And the internet found out immediately that this was all bullcrap, and they're just trying to get some press about their robot that probably doesn't work. So they decided to throw Elon and company under the bus. Screw you, not a real Tesla accident, but it was Tesla, so we got to talk about it.
And the irony is, robot arms and all the people that were upset.
Tesla is not safe. It hit my robot.
People can't see that.
I know. Mental.
All right. So this is what the episode's about. We're going to talk about it lately, but I've been conversing with Kathy, and so has Chrissy. And you can check that off on your bingo card. The No Bones About It Lucky Dog event at Laguna, they have the entry list up. Expect a few changes because they are limited to 45 cars. I think the entry list right now is hovering around 50. And that includes 45 cars. Of those right now, 12 are BMWs.
Boring.
15 Miatas, 3 Hondas, 2 Porsche cars, and 1 1964 Austin Mini.
Woo!
Ooh.
And unfortunately, the car that she did have the E1R crew lined up in has been rolled at the last event. And I believe that she is now calling her patient and loving husband Tumbleweed.
Tumbleweed.
As a result of that.
That seems...
So
we'll drive something.
Well, she's got you guys lined up in the number 37 Red Line Oil Racing E36. Interesting thing about that, and Chris is coming back with his headphones on, is you'll be sharing that car with seat thief Randy.
Damn it, Randy. Always taking my seats.
Which has only freaked me out just a little. Like, I'm comparing times with Randy Popes.
Why does Randy Popes keep taking my seats?
He wants to be where you are. And also, if you guys, and Jeff mentioned this when it happened way back in the day in News and No's, also Johann Schwartz, who holds the record for the longest drift, 232.5
Okay, so
miles.
let's talk about this later. So let's talk about Extreme Experience. They can put you in the driver's seat of some of the world's best supercars at over 20 racetracks, America and Canada, with no speed limits, no shifting restrictions, and no governors. Their 2019 travel schedule is up and ready to go. Head to xspeed.com. Check out their schedule. New experiences at New Hampshire Motorsports Speedway. So cool. Phoenix Streets of Willow. I don't know anything about that, and that sounds awesome. Texas Motor Speedway, Road America, which we're familiar with. A very straight, very fast straight shoot. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Pocono, Utah Motorsports Campus, and in addition to their Autobahn, Atlanta Motorsports Park, and Hallett Motorsports. 7 models of exotic cars and supercars to choose from, and their new for 2019 Challenger Hellcat wide body. Gosh, that sounds great. The famous year-round location in NOLA. Pro instructors like Jeff, Chris, and Mental, and Mental next month at Wild Horse Pass in Phoenix and the Streets of Willow in Willow Springs, California. That's fantastic. And they'll be in the car with you, helping you explore the car's limits and learn how to drive the racing line. Go to enter Everyone Racers. You get 25% off when you go to xxp.com. Extreme Experience. It's your turn.
Awesome.
Cool.
So, as we discussed, Lucky Dog Racing has their 2019 schedule online. The races fill up quickly. I think most of them are probably filled already, but there are some ups. The upcoming No Bones About It event at Laguna Seca that we will be attending, as we just mentioned. They're also racing a True 24 event at Buttonwillow. Fees as low as $600.
That's so crazy.
Good. It's a good price.
Seriously.
They'll also be at Portland International, The Ridge, which is the favorite of the Chris and Chrissy mob, Willow Springs, Utah Motorsports Campus, Pacific Raceway, Oregon Raceway Park, Thunderhill, and the Streets of Ensenada in Mexico. Which is
Hey, that's not that far from Vegas, is it?
No, it is not.
All right. Well, get you a car. Make plans to attend the first annual Dog Stock Jamboree at Shasta Lake Resort or the third annual Flocktoberfest in October, where you could be touched by a chicken or see Doug. Head over to racelucky.com to take full calendar of events. Tell Kathy we sent you. It won't get you anything, but we really like Kathy and want to make sure you say hi. Look for her to be back probably sometime after Laguna or down in April-ish. We're trying to decide. We'll talk to her this weekend and we'll find out.
That we will.
Cool. Excellent. It's me. I just was trying to, I don't need to jump right on. I mean, that's okay.
It's called dead air, Chris.
Dead air. We don't want dead air. Cool.
I thought I was leaving just a moment break to separate our great sponsors all together and give them their own time without stepping over each other. But anyway.
True.
So if you're one of the sponsors that wants to get in on having a little personal time between sponsors with us, 2008 really has been a great year, and we're actively seeking new partnerships for 2019. Do you have a motorsports-related business or interest? Everyone Racers is trying to expand our partnerships this year. It's going to be exciting. Last year, we had a great introduction to the West Coast after a very successful integration with Lucky Dog and Flocktoberfest, culminating this weekend where we're going to drive with them. So if you have any way for us to help you promote your event, product, or service, reach out to us at everyone.racers@gmail.com or send a carrier pigeon to Jeff. They'll be able to find him.
Why do we need a carrier pigeon?
And then he will get stuck under a dead car, and you will never find the message anyway.
Aw.
It's not true.
The pigeon or Jeff?
The pigeon.
We'll find Jeff.
Yeah, I'm easy to find. The pigeon, not so much.
You'd be like, what the heck is this pigeon doing here?
And you know who's... And then he plasti-dips it.
Oh, you know what? Your dogs will eat the pigeon because they'll be like, I found a pigeon.
Finally got him.
They caught
Bird that
something.
wouldn't fly away.
Yeah.
And you know whose communication packages and any other correspondence always makes it through? Chrissy's mom.
Chrissy's mom.
Hi,
Yeah,
Chrissy's mom.
I'm putting
All
my
right.
bingo card back up again.
Listener feedback.
Absolutely.
Thank
Some
you.
folks have actually been listening to me, and it has been so delightful to get actual iTunes reviews. I am so excited. iTunes reviews, it seems, are the only ones that actually boost listeners. So if we want new listeners, we actually have to see them a race, hand them a sticker, and convince them to listen to our stupid asses. Or
This weekend, we have a
I know.
great group of people.
Or I'm saying if you see us at the race, ask for a sticker. Yeah.
Totes. I get one anyway.
But if people use the search algorithms, the only way to get it is iTunes reviews. So please give an iTunes review. Our buddies at Garage Heroes in Training title theirs "Great Podcast from Great People." As a podcast, it's awesome. And in the friendly banter, it can't miss. Our whole team never misses an episode. Besides, they are the biggest reasons we even got our team racing. We thank them for giving back to the sport and getting us off the couch and on the track. Thanks, Bill, Vicky, and Alan.
We love you.
We do. We've got another really good one from a young Chris E, who called us excellent. And he added, I installed iTunes for the first time since college, revived an Apple account I haven't touched since and almost as long, all so I could leave this review. So genuinely, Chris Egan, we appreciate that. Whoa, we got another bingo.
I got bingo. Thanks, Chris Egan. I just got bingo because of you. My bingo is Long Route for Life, Radwood, The Free Space, we're not cheap, Young Chris, and Someone Makes Fun of Someone, which might as well be a free space. Really,
Yeah, might as well be.
on our
That's
show.
a terrible
That's right up there
square.
with sarcasm.
All
Yep.
right.
Thanks,
right.
Chris Egan. Who else got one?
Oh, I got bingo before, but now I
No,
have
but Chrissy,
something
you
else.
have a comment.
I have Facebook. Okay, so I posted a picture to Facebook on about our weekend and asked if anybody had some New Year's resolutions, but really I got comments that were not according to that. That's fine. So I'm really excited. Len White posted on our Facebook and said, look forward to seeing you at the race this weekend. So excited. We're supposed to come see him in pit, the car number 221. Bull Rack Mustang, and he suggested if we want some serious good coaching to spend the money and get the track walk from Speed Secrets, which we didn't do. Sorry,
But we've seen that.
We did that before.
We did it for Road Atlanta because Bill had it and we watched his.
like 15 minutes.
No, we watched a lot more.
Oh no, we watched a lot.
We
more
watched a
than
lot
that.
more of it than that. You were just a little tired, but
Yes.
it was really quite good. There was a lot to it. You just have to really be ready to listen and learn and pay attention,
Which we didn't do.
and all that.
But we did some
In
other
our
ones. Which we'll talk-
defense, we were drinking.
Yeah,
yes, in our defense, it seemed long, and my patience was small.
and it was after a
so,
long, tiring work day too. So we were all at our silliest.
So we'll talk about what we did watch. But thank you, Len White. We'll see you this weekend. If we don't find you, come find us. Also, our good friend Dean H said we're hilarious. So that's awesome.
This is coming from a guy that usually wears zebra pants and a leopard print cowboy hat and not a whole lot else. So,
But he and his wife drive the best cars. So they're amazeballs. And yes.
Thank you, Dean.
I'm sorry.
I said, thank you, Dean.
yeah.
Thank you, Dean. And I put this in here not so I can get a bingo spot, but really because it was on my bingo card and decided I wanted to ask, how's the Citron paperwork?
Citron? That was
Yeah,
terrible.
Chrissy said it
pronunciation.
wrong, so that's
So it's
checkbox. Someone pronounces it.
God, this new bingo card sucks.
Get a new one.
Oh, no, that's cheating. Once you
Yeah, it's
commit
too
one,
late.
finish it, so you
Yeah,
gotta
once
stay.
you're halfway through.
I don't care.
No news is no news, so I will have to call them when I get back.
You know what,
Like-
Jeff? We're
Okay.
going to be with you the next 2 days during the day, during the work week. So I think we can encourage you to call the state of New Jersey.
And we can all sit on hold.
Constantly pestering you.
You can't call. I already told you can't call.
Why?
You have to call.
No.
Because they don't answer. They're just like, it's in the, if you sent it, we're working on it. Click.
No, I'm gonna call.
Honey, you're gonna have to send that $10 again.
That's Rhode Island. That's Rhode Island.
Not doing that again. I'm calling from your phone and saying, "Oh, you want to talk to Jeff? Here, hold on."
Good luck.
Hi, I'm Jeff. Where's my Citron paper?
I could do that, couldn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Main topic time. Talking about Laguna Seca.
Yeah.
We're talking about the free show.
Well, as we've said so many times, we are so excited to be racing with Lucky Dog Racing League at Laguna Seca this weekend, thanks to the wonderful hospitality of Kathy McCausfuss, who we've thoroughly enjoyed having on the show, and we're thoroughly enjoying looking forward to actually meeting in person and spending the weekend with her and her great organization. And it's been fun for us already just to read all about what they're doing and get involved in Lucky Dog and see how they do things a little differently from what we're used to, and just so we can talk about that, and we're going to see it this weekend, so we'll be able to give you all you East Coasters or folks who have never tried Lucky Dog. We want to tell you all about what it is that they do and what we think about it. So that's where we're going today. So I guess we'll start off with some changes that I noticed between Lucky Dog and others, and what kind of the schedule looks like for the weekend that's a little different. Just some of it's just track based and some of it's Lucky Dog based. Chrissy's going to tell us a little bit more about what we learned about Laguna Seca, which is pretty exciting. Like, we're all a little giddy for that. So first off, the schedule for the weekend is interesting, mostly because of Laguna. First off, they're not letting us in until 6 o'clock on Friday, which is a shame. But hey, it is what it is, right?
It's actually 3 o'clock, and we didn't realize that.
Well, that's really no. You can gather at like 3 apparently. Then Lucky Dog staff isn't going to show up till 3, but apparently you're not letting us in until 6. Well, anyway, somewhere between 3 and 6. But tech is that night, like right after we get in. It's like 6:30 to 8:30 or 9 o'clock is tech, and then they're having the novice school, which they have every time for any novices or anyone that wants to thinks they're a novice or wants a refresher. They've got that all Friday night.
And there is no track time on Friday.
No track time at all on Friday. Now, interesting that Lucky Dog does qualifying to set classes. Normally, that was the kind of thing that would happen on a Friday, but as with no Friday, they're having to pack it all in. So, Saturday morning qualifying is from 9 to 9:40. So, you got to send someone out, do your qualifying.
That is tight.
Well, mentally, it gets better. Then you go sit on grid for 15 minutes, and then you start the race at 10. So you better have. I mean, that's an 8 a.m. green flag kind of a deal. So you better have your top guy in the car ready to go. Man, qualify and then start. Go.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
Well, and I know we're talking like similar to things that we know, like AER. AER has. When you set your qualifying, it's not only to class you, but also to gather all of your times, like kind of like bracket racing where you can't break out. So that's very tough to do with a very short qualifying time.
And AER is okay with you. They anticipate most people improving on their times as the weekend goes on, as naturally happens. So I'm interested to talk to Kathy about how they worry about sandbagging and things like that during the course of the weekend. So we'll talk to her more about that, I'm sure. They do a rolling double file start with a pace car.
Now, this is what I'm excited about.
Right, which if you've never done one of these, they can be exciting. There's a little strategy to them, and there's a lot of potential for carnage if you don't do them right. Like, for example, when we were at the NASA weekend at Pit Race last year in the advanced group, and we did practice starts, and I'm out there in the NSX, and wouldn't you know it, 2 cars ahead of me, one hits another one, and one hits another one, and I very fortunately am used to looking through the windows of the cars in front of me because running lemons traffic, so I bail 2 off into the grass, go around those guys, say, oh, that's a shame, and keep driving. So, this is, if you're not used to it, this is something new and exciting, so I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully Jeff and Chrissy, or at least one of them, can take the Sunday or Saturday one to experience the rolling start with the pace car, because it's a fun, interesting thing to do if you've never done it.
Nice.
So, another different thing is that Laguna mandates a half-hour track worker break at 1 o'clock. So and what Lucky Dog is doing is pretty interesting. You are not allowed to touch your car during this break, no matter what. You roll into the pits, like into the hot pits, park there, and you get out of the car and basically put your hands above your head as you walk away from the car. You can't check a tire pressure. You can't torque a lug nut. You can't wash a window. If they see you doing any of those things, you have worked on your car, and you now will start 15 minutes after the rest of the group goes out. Same as if you come in one lap before this to say, oh, I'm going to spend this half hour replacing those brake pads I need to replace. Nope. You now go out 15 minutes later. So they're really trying to make sure that nobody uses this as an advantage. You park your car, you put your hands out, you walk away. Do not touch until you go back out at 1:30. So I'm curious to see how that all works out, but that's an interesting way to deal with it. I kind of like it, that it doesn't make that into an advantage for anybody. Let's see how teams do with that. That's fun.
That is that. Yeah,
it's going to be interesting. Yeah.
You're and you guys are nerdy enough to remember this back when Formula One required everyone to bolt a 2x4 basically under their car. I want to say in the mid 90s, and it was just, here, engineers, solve this problem. And it was a specified piece of wood that they had to have under every Formula One car. And I'm getting kind of that sensation out of this. Look, we know you guys are going to be smart and go through the rules, so we're just going to throw puzzles at you every now and again and keep your brains engaged in this, rather than just turning it into a spinning war, turning it into a just intellectual exercise as well as racing exercise. I love that.
Yeah, but this is it changes your pit stop strategy potentially, but they have some different pit stop things going on than we're used to. We're used to Lemons, that is, you pit whenever you want. Do whatever you want. Yeah. And then we've had AER too, which you have to have a certain number of pit stops a day. Yeah. It doesn't really matter what you do, like when you have those pit stops. You can have none for 4 hours and then have 3 15 minutes apart, and that counts, but they have a minimum time. So what Lucky Dog does is they have minimum 5-minute pit stops with a timer in and timer out. They also have a maximum 2-hour shift length. Like by 2 hours, I'm just like getting in my groove. So that's going to be different.
Seriously.
Yeah. So let's see how that goes. But that's good for keeping people in stock tanks and for people not rushing pit stops, which hopefully will help me fewer mistakes. Mm-hmm. They do require window nets. I'm not a fan, but I can see it. I think
Lemons is the last series that does.
Well,
I think
tough.
Everybody else does.
Yeah. Well, it's a tough choice. Do I want to keep my arms in the car and not have them broken if I roll, or do I want to make it harder to get out of the car if it's on fire?
Yeah,
I'd rather have arm restraints. If I have arm restraints,
I'm down with arm restraints,
and I can get out of the car more easily if it's on fire. I think that's a better compromise to solve both of those problems than the window nets. It also hurts visibility. It makes it hard to point by. There's all kinds of problems with that.
Well, and I think it comes down to is folks are evaluating in some of these faster series what's more likely: car catches on fire or the car ends up on its roof. And Lemons, we all know good and darn well, it is a strong probability that car is going to catch on fire.
But on roof is the cardinal sin of Lemons. I actually think there's
some of these faster series, when you go off into the soft, there's a strong possibility you're ended up on the roof. And Jeff, no, I've cut you off, and I'm sorry.
Fine. I think there's another reason for the window net, and that's to keep things from coming into the driver. Mm-hmm. And that's why we have to
fire.
That there's like a Mustang tire, exactly, or a Firebird tire. But the whole idea is that we have to run glass, so having something to protect the driver on the other side. I don't know. I'm not saying I like it either way. I'm saying I think that is another reason to have it. Go, Chris.
Sure. Lemons, actually, I was talking to, I think it was Phil. He said once they implemented the "Why am I on my roof" rule, he said penalties almost immediately started to go down. Like that was a huge turning point in how many penalties we were getting, because people knew they couldn't roll, so they actually drive less aggressively because of that. So, and I'm trying to think how many times I've seen a car on its roof or on its side in the 30-something Lemons races I've done, and it's like I'm trying to remember one. Like one, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at like 0, so it must have been.
So, that part is working. Anyway,
it's the flip side is in AER and WRL, I've probably seen 2 or 3.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's an interesting discussion of the merits of one or the other. Neither one is wrong or right, just different and a different priority. So interesting discussion. I got to give kudos to Lucky Dog, though. They had a great fuel safety video on their site. There's something
Solid.
They really made.
Loved
They
it.
made recently. Yeah, like really fantastic. And I learned a new tip that I hadn't thought about before that I think is great. And I'll
so
share it
did
with
I.
everybody here. Well, Jeff, I'll go first, then you tell me yours. They said if your fuel port is on the traffic side of the pit instead of the wall side, if you're the one holding the fire extinguisher, stand toward the front of the car facing oncoming traffic so that you see it coming. We don't do that, but we're going to now.
The exact one I was going to bring up, and it's
Yeah.
it's a brilliant. It's so easy.
Yeah.
Why didn't we think of it before?
Absolutely. Len Menzel, what's up?
I was at Mid Ohio, and the track employees actually would walk over, would physically grab people with fire extinguishers, then walk them to the front of the car, and then do the my eyes down, and they were showing everybody. And I think after the first series of pit stops, everybody's like, "Oh, right, yeah." So I'm actually kind of obnoxious about that. I do.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense, and I just never thought of it, but yeah, do that. Absolutely. And they were very clear about, make sure you put out the guy on fire, not the car. Like, forget the car. Put the guy out first. Right? That's
but they did
important.
it really well to be able to put it in perspective. So in the video, which was 10 minutes long?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, like that.
Is it
7,
linkable? Can we throw that in the show notes? Because that
Probably.
sounds like all of our listeners.
I tried to get it to open straight up in YouTube because it was supposed to be YouTube, and I couldn't find it.
Well, if you just Google Lucky Dog fueling video, you'll find it. It's easy to go. But really, very well done. Good tips in there. I liked it. That was nice. In general, so far for Lucky Dog, we've had really good communication so far about what to expect, know where to go, especially with this weird scheduling of this event. They've sent out updates periodically. They have a little map of the track and where you're supposed to be on Friday, where you go on Saturday. Really, it's clear. I've never been there before. I feel pretty comfortable knowing where I'm supposed to go as a new participant to this one. And I'm excited about the Lucky Dog hosted and paid for dinner Saturday night. It's tacos and tequila and raffle prizes.
Oh, he's so mad.
Yeah. For you.
We'll drink some tequila for you.
I'll send you pictures of my shots and my taco.
No. Don't shoot it. Sip it. Proper.
Okay. So we'll do that, and they have raffle prizes too. I mean, the only thing I've caught at a Lemons race is blown motors and stuff, and that's the only thing I've won aside from some bits of metal. So that's fun. And lastly, their hot pits, because they only have 40 something cars here. There's actually assigned stalls in the hot pits, so people stay there with tents and stuff. And they're allowed
to us.
Which is new to us. They
Right,
do
that-
that
I
at
mean,
AER.
They do it at AER too, because again, the car counts are smaller. You can kind of do that. Also, I'm not sure how I feel about this. You're allowed to work on the cars over the wall, not in fire gear, for up to 30 minutes at a time, including
I saw that too. Like a little, huh?
So, the part that bothers me about that is, what if the car next to you catches fire once it's fueling? There I am out there wearing a shorts and a t-shirt under
under the car,
right.
jacked up. I'm mental.
Mental.
Well, and I think the reason they can do this is because they keep their car counts low. And every series that I've seen that Champ Car has been struggling with this because they have high car counts. And then you get a car comes in there and they're working on it for 20 minutes. And the guys that are sharing your pit are like, what the actual F, man? So but by Laguna limits them for noise restrictions to 45 cars for this race. So you're going to get your own pit spot. It's probably a decent bit away.
I get why Lemons doesn't do it. There's too many cars. But even so, I'm not sure how I feel about someone. I wouldn't want to be working on the car out there for all that long just for the safety of what if someone else catches fire there next to me or something or do the people come in and they're all aggro?
Or what if they're dripping oil? Dripping, right. If they're coming in aggro, they're driving, streaming through the pits, they're dripping oil, and then the next person's on fire and they make a fireball.
I'm all I would love to be able to do little things like clean glass and torque wheels and tire pressures, or throw a quart of oil in. I'd love to be able to throw a quart of oil in at a pits at a Lemons race. But I get where they have to draw the line, because once you start working on something, how do you police that? It's either you don't work on it or you do. So
the other thing that they do, and I'm not sure that, because what they were saying on the video and what they were showing on the video was a little contradictory. You know, they were allowing people over the wall who were not in full gear, and then saying as soon as the gas cap is off, everyone needs to be in full gear.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a little contradictory, because how do you know? Like, I would rather it be everyone over the wall, full gear, mask down, visor down. But that's like
let's see how it works.
The person you're helping someone out of the car, why not have them in full gear?
Well, I mean, this is all comes back to how we do it, and we think that what we do is safest and it's sufficient. You don't need a guy to get a guy out of the car who's in a sweatshirt.
We've never been able to go over the wall in any series without full gear. So interesting to see how this works. Like, I just think it's fun to point out the differences, and we'll see how it goes. And
yeah,
okay.
Again, not bad or better either way, just a different theory.
And I have no doubt Kathy is very much interested in the safety of everyone there. She wants everyone to get racing. She wants everyone to have a good time and everyone to go home exactly the way they came, except having more fun and a little poorer because they just spent all their money racing. So but more than that is too much. So let's watch it, see how it goes. Jeff,
I'd like to mention, while you were talking, I dipped my pliers again.
You got your handle wet there, Jeff?
I did. I was hoping Chrissy was going to go and talk about all of her prep things, because I'm really behind on my prep.
You stuck yourself in between our notes here.
But yet you're dipping your pliers.
It's the day before you're due to leave for a race and Jeff's not packed.
I'm not packed. So because of
someone makes fun of someone. Check.
Well, yeah. What is this sarcasm? Is this the idea that he's usually prepared, or he's always not prepared, and this is nothing new?
So
I know the answer.
This is my shocked face.
Know the answer.
So totally on brand. I have been working for the last 3 days because I took last week off because of our
Jeff
Florida
complains
vacation.
about working too much. You can take that one off now.
So I haven't had a chance.
How's your hair?
My hair's fine. I haven't had a chance to watch any of the race videos. I have not packed my clothes. I have not packed my gear. I'm excited. I don't need to sleep between now and the time that we take off tomorrow. So, I mean, when I was like 16, I did a lot of laps on my PlayStation. So I guess that's something.
We have 8 hours to watch all the car video.
I know.
Yeah. And you can nap on the plane. We won't bother you too much.
That's what I'm saying.
Stick things up your nose while you're sleeping. It's fine.
I did get the GoPros.
Thank you.
They have to pick them up after the show, and I did find the GPS dot.
Great.
So I have to find the other stuff too.
And the power cord, and also
I'm still working on that.
The SD cards for the GoPros and stuff.
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry. What is this? What was that hand motion?
SD cards, like you pushing your thumb at the SD cards.
It was
Jeff.
it was a little that.
Got it.
Chris, tell us about all the cool things you've done and I didn't.
Okay, so last week was our New Year's resolution episode, right? So I said I was going to get prepared for races, and at the same time, I was like, I don't have time to prep for Laguna. So, but I was like, I can't really fail on my very recent New Year's resolution, like right now. So let's make the time to make this happen. So this Sunday, we're kind of lounging, and some of you saw the Facebook post. I got down to business. Chris is slowly snoring on the...
hey, I have a track map of Laguna on the back of my eyelids. I was checking that very carefully. Okay?
So he was checking his eyelid track map, which I only wish I had.
I think he was practicing his match rev downshifts, too.
Maybe so. He does not snore. Unless he's sick. So Jeff, though, on the other hand, I brought my earplugs, and you're going to take your Singular at 9 o'clock.
Oh, yeah. I'm all good.
Okay, good. So on Sunday, I was like, all right, screw it. I got my fresh pencil. I got my fresh piece of sticky paper. No, this is really part of the practice.
I know. It's fresh pencil.
It is my fresh pencil. I actually killed a whole eraser. So I have to get my fresh pencil and my fresh eraser, because every time I make a track map, I make it, and I actually erased the whole thing to redo it because that's how you make it good.
There you go.
But this is part of the process.
The ritual.
So,
the ritual.
It's a ritual, right?
Acknowledge the ritual.
Yes, and I
it
get
also involves a cat and a drink. So
both of these things are very important.
Ritual.
Yeah.
Yes, right. So get a drink, get a cat, and who really likes pencils. That's the problem. So she just thinks that all of these things are hers. So I also print out a bunch of track maps that are different. So I have one that had elevation changes. I had one aerial, and I had two different kinds of just kind of actual track maps with the numbers and where the curves go. So I got down to drawing, and I drew the first round, and I was like so not happy with the proportions. So we started watching some YouTube videos. So this is when Chris was kind of in and out of napping. I had the YouTube videos on the TV, and he wasn't actually watching because he was very serious about watching them on his track map back of his eyelids. And so I decided to just take them off and put them on my phone. So I was watching them because I really wanted to do forward stop when there was something that I could kind of think about and draw, and I wanted to make sure that if I understood where the curve goes and where the best line is, I could draw it. So I really just did this on off. I did it on my phone. So the video, as we said earlier, that somebody said that we should be watching, what's his face's Speed Secrets,
Ross Bentley's
videos. We just went with a guy who we were pretty happy with, and he had 3 different videos on Laguna. He basically broke it down by a corner, what he thought the corner looked like, how he thought you should go through it. He had a picture of it, and he had kind of like a little dotted marker on it on the actual track map, and then he showed it as he drove it in his Boxster. So he really talked it through each corner and what he thought should be done. Go ahead, Chris.
Hey, Jeff, this is what we sent to you. Did you watch it?
I did not yet.
He's got 2 days. It's fine. And if he doesn't drive, he could just watch it in the car.
And you texted it to me because I'm not going to watch it on my phone. So I had to email it to myself. So I did the first step.
We watched it on our phone. But anyway.
We streamed it to the TV from the phone, but.
Yeah.
But I watched it 4 times on my phone because you were sleeping. I watched it on my phone. So yes, right. So this happened. So basically as I watched, I erased, I redrew, and the video was great, but I basically made my map and I felt really good about it. And it was, it's just such a good practice, and it's a solidifying, it's a good thing to do. And you don't have to do it I do it on my big sticky notes. And actually when I finished it, I stuck it on the wall and we look at it, and I'm going to bring it with so we can talk about it. Jeff, I'm going to bring my map. We'll talk about it.
Yes, very excited actually.
Yeah. So, it's just such a good practice, and it really makes you as much as in tune with the track as you can be before you get there. So, you can watch video and you can listen to it, but it's that tactical part of putting it on piece of paper, that it's that additional sense, I think, is of trying to make sure that you actually are understanding and following it. You can watch things, you can listen to it, and you're just like, oh, what am I having for dinner? Oh, I'm tired. You're thinking about these things, but you're like, okay, now where is this corner actually going? Is it uphill at the end? So we have one, like corner 6 has a big bump in the middle. So if you hit the bump, you've done it correctly. Things like that you're just like, you might have glossed over it when you had the video, but I wrote it down. I watched it over and over again, and you're just like, if you hit that bump and you watch the other people driving, you watch them hit that bump, you're like, you did it right. So things like that you could have easily glossed over, watching video over and over again, actually drawing it, actually writing it down, you're like, okay, hit that, good, done.
Awesome. It's like the best way to learn something is to teach it to someone.
Sure.
So the best way to visualize is to draw it yourself.
Agreed. That's why I keep coming back to.
Awesome.
Well, it depends on your learner type too. If you're visual,
Absolutely.
you're auditory, you're kinesthetic. But if you combine all of them together, you can't lose.
You're actually taking it all in. So, last couple thoughts. Track looks awesome. Elevation is amazing. I know all of us that live on flat tracks out here. We're very excited about the elevation.
Corkscrew.
Some of the So some of the corners look interesting. They're on the map. They kind of look like 90 degrees. Obviously, they're not. Some are a little bit more. Some are a little bit less. Have some technical ways to get through them. And the corkscrew does look great. Just look for the trees. Yep. So that's what I got on mine. We're ready. Let's go.
Let's do it. So jealous. So mad jelly.
Mental, we haven't given you much time here because you haven't been prepping, but would you like to voice your jealousy or tell us anything that you want to tell us before we leave?
I don't know if there is a voice to the jealousy. We're already at 106 right now, and I don't have time to go through tacos, tequila, and the corkscrew. Just that. Yeah, and just tell me you're driving a 911, and that'll just kill me now.
Oh, I can check that off. Hang on.
We'll do it.
Oh, you have that one? That's good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's move on to our final and most favoritist section of the day. It's when Chrissy gives us just the tip. No, we're not yelling anymore.
Why?
I don't know.
It's
the only one
funny. It's funny when Chrissy does it because she pulls the microphone away from her and just yells at the ceiling.
Just the tip.
Everybody
or
that's you yelling into a microphone.
Or just the tip.
Everybody just turned their radios down, so they all just got that point
then
on
they
their
didn't hear my just the tip
because it was too loud.
Chrissy, give us this week's.
Okay, this is kind of a dumb just the tip, but because it's relevant.
It's a tip.
It's a tip. Just because it's relevant, it has nothing to do with driving. So we're traveling on an airplane tomorrow. So we did some research on what you can and can't bring on the plane. So I mentioned bringing some lunch when I was talking to Chris on the plane because we have some long flights tomorrow and I have a clock in my stomach. So no matter what time it is on the ground, my stomach still thinks it's the time that it usually eats and I will probably be hungry. And if I get hangry, it's even worse. So we decided to look up. So we were trying to figure out what you can and can't bring onto the plane. This is not a checked bag. This is actually onto the plane. So basically anything solid is okay. Surprisingly. Anything
sandwich. Perfectly acceptable.
Totally fine. Anything liquid or gelish. Like
paste, hair, paste, Denver TSA.
This is not what I added to this is Mental's
obviously not at all bitter about that, Mental.
Yeah. This is a liquid. No, it's a paste, and I know this because it says so on the lid.
But it was less than 30. That was less than 3 ounces. More than 3 ounces. Okay,
well,
so it needs to fit into this nice.
It's going to last him more than one day, so it can't just be 3 ounces.
It has to fit into that liquid bag. Frozen food, okay, as long as the ice packs are completely solid. What happens by the time you get to the frickin' airport and your ice packs are still completely solid? Come on.
I'd like to point out that no TSA agents being paid right now, so they're going to be in a great mood.
They are.
Oh, we know.
I went through on New Year's.
Okay, so even you can bring a cake and a pie and a pizza. Right, that it says it's okay.
There you go.
It listed cake, pie, and pizza?
Yeah, totally.
Yes, it did.
And honestly, bring 2 cakes and leave one for these unpaid TSA folks.
That's a good idea.
I'm kind of concerned that if you actually brought a cherry pie,
when it's liquid and gel.
What about a Boston cream pie? Come on.
Oh,
but the cherry pie, as soon as you cut it,
is blown right now. The loophole. Are you telling me it's security theater and it's not really keeping us safe?
Yep. Jeff, it's okay. We'll put up a wall
this is
fine.
This is broken with laughter.
Sorry and not sorry. So, you
got bingo again then. Fantastic.
It's too easy how to get rid of some stuff.
No, I got SC43, Radwood, Someone Breaks with Laughter, Las Vegas, and Mental gets something correct. That's my double bingo.
So basically we were like, if you have a piece of cherry pie, that is not a solid. By the time if you cut the piece, all the stuff falls out. Therefore, you have a gel. Anyway.
No. You didn't say you could bring a piece. You have to bring a whole pie.
I just said bring a pie. But yes, I'm just picturing like you bringing the whole like Costco pie.
I'm sure they meant like tasty cake, like like this big. Like,
but a sheet cake, like an entire sheet.
I'm just gonna sing that like my shoes, my belt, my laptop, and a pie.
Happy
this
birthday.
is like a post 9/11 Carol Burnett skit where like the plane gets taken over by hijackers and you have to stop them with pies, cream-filled pies. Okay. It's a Three Stooges battle.
Okay, so bring your pie into TSA because I'm sure they'll love you. So anyway, alcohol in small amounts, fine. It's funny because our airport the airplane that we were on, Frontier. They said no because they want to sell you stuff, but TSA doesn't care.
It's fine.
So
well, that's what we're doing Southwest this time, right?
Bread, fine. Cereal, yes. I'm not gonna do chicken salad, so we'll see if I get pulled over when I bring my chicken salad. Done.
So before we get to the final bit here, I have to say my angry story from the week about security, and it's not TSA. It's security at the Citrus Bowl. So we're going to a extremely sunny football game.
You've already complained about this, Jeff.
What, did they took our sunscreen?
Sunscreen, yes.
Oh,
Last show.
And it was only your line.
I don't remember.
Probably because you had sun poisoning.
We do.
Damn it.
But tell us again. I don't know what you're talking about.
They took my sunscreen.
No.
Honestly, it was probably a bet between one or two of them. Hey, check this Yankee out. I bet I can make him sunburn.
The TSA in Atlantic City was terrible, and they wouldn't let us take any food. They took our food, even though it was dry and solid.
Oh no!
Yes.
And that's ultimately what it comes down to. You can have the rule book out, but they're just going to go, sorry.
Whatever they decide.
I've got a badge. I've decided I have the authority. Your hair paste is now a liquid. I do not answer to your reality.
And I'm not getting paid.
Hold on. Turn that off.
No,
All right.
good for yourself.
Okay. Folks, next week, we're actually really excited about this. We are going to be talking about rally, not the normal crab can rally that we have Eric Root on about, which, by the way, you should totally do. But actual, no kidding, amateur, gravel, slidey, dirt spewing, point-to-point, flying through the woods, grassroots rally with our listener expert, Santiago Daniel Iglesias. So we're actually going to learn a lot. He's going to send us some material that the three of them are not going to have a chance to check out because they're going to do busy being awesome this weekend. And we're going to come back next week and learn all about grassroots rally. You should listen because you need another expensive hobby like you do already. So I
do totally need to do rally.
Yes.
Me too.
Listen next week. It's going to be a great episode. It really is.
And since you hear the music, you know that we are wrapping up this show. And I want to say thank you for downloading us. We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Everyone Racers. We also hope you'll join us in the world of driving, racing, and building because everyone can be a racer, even you. If you enjoyed this podcast, subscribe. It's totally free. Then go to iTunes, even if you have to resurrect an old account like young Chris. Give us a 5-star rating. Even if you hate us, give us 5 stars and tell us why. If you have any questions or show ideas, drop a comment on our Facebook page, Everyone Racers, or email us at everyone.racers@gmail.com. Find us on Instagram and Twitter, everyone.racers. Thanks again, and until next week, keep the shiny side up and touch the plane on the outside on the way in the door for good luck. Unless there is no shiny side, then just keep the wheels down.